Yo, what the fuck is up, party people? My name is Mystery, and welcome back to another Draft League breakdown video. And today, we're going to be talking about Garchomp, one of my favorite dragons to use in Draft League. Other than probably Latios, it is my favorite. Garchomp is fucking insane. Its speed isn't like as crazy as it used to be at 102, but it's still a really good number because you're outspeeding like the Pace 100s of the worlds, the Shifus, you know, shit like that. So, let's talk about the best move that it got in the Gen 8 DLC, which was Scale Shot. This completely changed this Pokemon. Obviously, it was still amazing before. I think this takes it to a whole nother level. SD Scale Shot, you know, raising your own speed, and then, you know, having that power that comes with it. Like, being able to attack while raising your speed is kind of insane. I think it's by far its best set. You know, Tank Chomp is still really good, but the set is definitely very clean. You know, just running Scale Shot, Earthquake, and then like coverage move is good enough to win a lot of games with Garchomp's attack stat and just, yeah, no, this set's really good. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but yeah. Next up, we can talk about Tank Chomp. One of the more staple sets for a long time, especially on like, you know, balance builds where you're kind of like looking for hazard game and you're playing around that sort of thing, like bulky offense. I love Garchomp in that role where it can be like a Dragon Tailer, like setting up rocks and then Toxicking and Dragon Tail. That this mod can do a lot. It can be a physical switch in, and yeah, overall, I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on this either. This is a pretty common set. It's probably for a long time I actually thought Tank Chomp was better than like Scarf Chomp, but I think Skill Shot is just a little bit better. Overall, it's a little predictable on what it's gonna do. Like, it's either gonna be like Fire Blast or Dragon Tail, or Fire Blast or, you know, Toxic, something like that. Like those three, one or two of those three moves plus Earthquake and Rocks, that sort of thing. And then we can kind of go to a combo of the two, which is like the Landorus set you'll see a lot. Not exactly, but basically it's SD, Rocks, Scale Shot, Earthquake. And what this does is you can kind of play the best of both worlds to an extent, where you can kind of play within the flow of the game a little bit more, which I think is, you know, huge for Garchomp. Is kind of like picking your spots almost. Is just you don't have to go all out. You can kind of set up rocks. You hit somebody with Earthquake and you're not going to have to take Life Orb recoil. It's not like an all or nothing sort of thing. So I think this set's a little underrated. I really like it. Yeah, I honestly, it's not going to be there every week, but I think it's one of his better and more underrated sets. And then, of course, you can't talk about Garchomp without talking about Scarf Chomp. Scarf Outrage, Scarf EQ, I mean, the mod hits like a fucking truck, especially if, you know, your speed tiers don't work out to where, you know, he can be adamant. Good luck. You know, you're not switching in. So, I would say Garchomp is probably, I don't know, a lot of people will throw a Scarf on him when they don't know what to do, and I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think if you're creative, Garchomp's a really great mon, and if you're not, you could find yourself running Scarf a lot, and I hate people that get into that mold. So we can move on, but it's a pretty self-explanatory set. He just kind of punches holes, and yeah. And then a set that I think is a little underrated is kind of a mixed Garchomp where you have like Draco Meteor and Fire Blast. This set's cool. Like, you can kind of deal with Ferrothorn and Skarmory better. Like, you can just kind of, I don't know, it's a good wall breaker. Like, I like this set when you have like a Mega Lopunny where you kind of just need to like whittle everything down and then have Lop clean up. I think this set's great for that. You could throw like rocks on over Stone Edge if you wanted to. I like Draco Earthquake. I think that's a really cool combo. And yeah, again, this probably wouldn't come to a lot of games, but I remember I had it in an 11 game season. I brought it 2 times where it had Draco EQ and it did work like both times. I mean, it's just a good set overall. And then just some other options for Garchomp himself. The old way to raise your speed with Garchomp was either Z Sandstorm or Endure Slackberry. But with Scale Shot, I just don't see the point. Like, you can raise your speed in other ways without having to like endure a Mamoswine's Icicle Crash, you know, that sort of thing. I don't get the point of the set anymore. Like, Skill Shot's just better. But I figured I should include it just in case there's ever a scenario, but I don't know. I tried thinking of one for like 5 minutes and gave up. I have Scorching Sands on here just because, like, on defensive, I think that could be cool. I like burning shit. It's always nice, but I still think EQ is better, like a better overall move for him. But it's still a cool, like, if you just wanted to grab a burn on somebody and it's a little unexpected, I think that's a cool set. I have Iron Head on here just as, like, Iron Head / Poison Jab. You can hit fairies, which is always nice. And then Natural Gift, which I think is a little underrated. It's removed in Gen 8, but if you're playing a format that allows cut moves, it's one of my favorite moves ever. Throwing a berry on there and then doing like 100 damage with, a fire berry like Akka or whatever. That's pretty heat. So, yeah, I just want to talk about those sets. And then I wanted to talk about some team options with Garchomp. So, I think something that people do a lot is they'll draft like Keldeo Garchomp. And I love Keldeo, but I don't think that's a good pairing. I think Garchomp needs a really bulky water. I love Milotic on balance with Garchomp because you have Dragon Tail and Flip Turn. So you can kind of get like whatever you need, whether you want a Hazard Stack and Dragon Tail spam, or if you want like Flip Turn into Garchomp when he's offensive. I think Milotic is a great fit with Garchomp overall. Tapu Koko is kind of on the more offensive side of what I like with Garchomp, where you get speed, you get U-turn, you get breaking like flying types. It's just like really, I think Koko Garchomp is a really cool combo overall. And then something kind of like in the middle, I think is Rotom Wash, especially for like the Mamoswine thing. This is, the best Mamoswine counter in the game. Rotom Wash with Garchomp is a really great combo. You kind of get now, especially with Nasty Pot, you get the offense, side of it, but you also get the defense of like Willow, Defog, and then you have Volt Switch into Garchomp, which is always amazing. And then a mega that I think is really cool with him is Scizor. He resists ice, and then Garchomp resists fire, so they're a cool pairing together. There's no way you'd ever get like Garchomp plus these 4 Pokemon, but if you did, pretty much wrap it up for the league. Overall, I think Scizor kind of does what I said before. It has U-turn into him. Defog, which is always nice. He's just a good pairing with Garchomp overall. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe if you done so. I will talk to you all later. And as always, peace.